If you've lived in Red Wing for a while, you've probably looked at a street, building, or location once and thought, I wonder how that place got its name. Names matter, and in a town with as rich a history as Red Wing's, some places hold historical or colloquial names stemming from captivating community chronicles. However, few today understand those backgrounds. Join me as we stroll through Red Wing's quarters and ask, what's in a name?
One reason Red Wing thrives is due to our businesses and industry.
From the small businesses of our historic downtown and the large retailers of Midtown to the factories in the industrial park, Red Wing includes many economic centers. One industrial business region that's a bit hidden is called Clay City. Stretching down Tile Drive off Featherstone Road, Clay City houses auto shops, air services, and storage units, along with businesses like TNT Gymnastics and the Humane Society.
But none of these things have anything to do with clay. So why in the world did we name it Clay City?
To understand Clay City, we must understand the origins of an industry that put Red Wing on the map: pottery. The story begins with John Paul, a German immigrant who settled in Goodhue County in 1861. He discovered rich clay deposits all around his land in Goodhue Township. So Paul, a potter by trade, added a pottery wheel and kiln to his home and began producing storage crocks, jugs, and jars like this to sell. A historical marker stands today off Highway 58, signifying John Paul's pottery site, the birthplace of Red Wing pottery.
While Paul only operated in the area for 10 years before moving to Shakopee, his impact spurred the creation of 3 large pottery manufacturers.
The Red Wing Stoneware Company started in 1877, Minnesota Stoneware started in 1883, and North Star Stoneware started in 1892. Clay was mined by hand and later with a crane's help near Goodhue Township, where companies established a small village of boarding houses for workers called the Clay Bank.
You thought I was going to say Clay City, didn't you? Just wait, we're almost there.
A fourth large company that utilized Goodhue County clay also existed: the Red Wing Sewer Pipe Company, incorporated in October 1891 by Red Wing industrialist John Harrison Rich. Rich moved to Red Wing in 1882 and became very active in city affairs. He started the Civic League, served one term as mayor, and raised funds to create the park bordering Main Street between East and West Avenue that now bears his name. Rich also dedicated his time to the clay industry and discovering a way to use the coarser clay. You see, 2 layers of clay existed in the Goodhue County clay pits: a finer potter's clay used in the stoneware factories, and a coarse, lower-grade clay tarnished with rust and other impurities, deposited above the finer clay that miners would simply toss to the side.
Rich and other pottery executives thought, what if instead of wasting the coarse clay, it could be turned into sewer pipes?
In 1890, worker George Cook created the first clay sewer pipe in Red Wing, marked with an inscription thought up by John H. Rich himself. Red Wing sewer pipe? Why not?
1 year later, the John H. Rich Sewer Pipe Factory was born.
Rich's new sewer pipe company had 2 factories. Factory B stood near Old West Main Street. Yet Factory A was built further west, at the present-day intersection of Tile Drive and Brick Avenue,
The area we now call Clay City.
This Sanborn fire map illustrates the factory's layout. Railroad lines descended all the way down to the factory, bringing lots and lots of coarse clay to form the sewer pipes that were boasted in advertisements as the best quality available. The two Red Wing factories altogether employed about 250 men.
In 1901, the John H. Rich Sewer Pipe Company and the Red Wing Sewer Pipe Company merged.
Sewer pipe production grew so rapidly that miners were running out of the top layer of coarse clay, so clay shipments began pouring in from Iowa.
It sure was a clay city down there.
While clay was king for many years, by the mid-20th century, the Red Wing pottery business was suffering, and the main factory closed its doors in 1967. The Sewer Pipe Company closed in 1970, and Sewer Pipe Factory A was torn down. In the late 1970s and 80s, the current industrial and commercial buildings found in Clay City were built, with more developments popping up as the years went by. So, now you know what's in a name for Red Wing's Clay City Industrial and Business Area. As the former site of Sewer Pipe Factory A, the clay industry played an influential role on the area's development. A former clay city indeed. Now, as a small economic center, you can work out, get glass replaced, store your belongings, or even adopt a new furry friend.
And even though clay sewer pipes are no longer being manufactured down there, you can never take the clay out of Clay City. Thanks for watching.